Hey guys, I'm Colwen. I'm back with another Transformers review. Today we've got Transformers Legacy Predacon Inferno, and I'm gonna include my original Beast Wars Inferno in this review, but this isn't gonna be a versus review because I've done some changes to my Beast Wars one, so it wouldn't be a fair comparison. So let's take a look at him in the box. He is a Voyager class. He's running upwards in the $30 to $35 price range nowadays. Yes, Transformers are going up in price. On the front, we've got no plastic in here. You can get in there and fiddle with him, and you can try out his... He's got an open mouth gimmick. He's got an opening mouth gimmick. Let me try and adjust the count for a moment. That's what he's gonna get right now. Then we got a cool picture of him in his ant mode. Unfortunately, I don't think there's any type of internal weapon storage for his weapon, so he's gonna be an ant with mounted artillery. Sounds cool. On the side here, we got some cool artwork of him being all crazed and getting into fights. And on the side here, we have some cross artwork of other characters. On the bottom, we got all the legalese. On the back, we got pictures of the toy along with some other legalese and tech spec. And this is him in his bug mode. This is him in his ant mode. And, yeah, let me get him out of the box. Alright, so we've got Legacy Inferno. I'm sorry. They really should have released him in the, in the Kingdom Wars line, but hey, at least they did release him, right? And, so... First of all, he's got an articulated jaw, which is utterly hilarious and just absolutely perfect for this character, because he did this facial expression all the dang time back in the day. The head sculpt on this thing is spot bloody on. I'll be bringing in the old Beast Wars one in a moment, but like the head sculpt alone, I love this thing for the head sculpt. And no, I'm not apologizing for the jump scare. I never do them, and that was kind of fun. And I hope it works out. So let me talk about his gun for a moment, which again, great representation of the old weapon back in the day. He used this once in a while, and yeah, it's made out of clear plastic and it's painted, but it's not load bearing. Like, yeah, they got the peg, but like pegs usually don't have too much of an issue with cracking and breaking over time. And it is made out of like two pieces. Yeah, they're glued together. And as far as action features go, also, we're still talking about that kind of because we got the articulated jaw. His bug butt does open up, and you can plug the gun up on in there, and you can kind of simulate his flying butt bug mode from the show. Like in the show, his butt would open up and he'd fly around on a jetpack, and it wasn't so much that he flew, but he would like he would butt blast his way around, and it was funny. And that he'd hover in air and stuff, but like he was really just butt blasting around. Let's turn that up there for a moment and just close that all down. Put his gun off to the side, and like as a representation of the old 90s cartoon character, he's spot on. He's great. He's got the ball jointed neck so he can look all around and look all crazy and stuff. He's got this is for the transformation, but he's got butterfly shoulders, so he can kind of hunch his shoulders in for some poses, right? He's got a shoulder swivel there. He's got an in and out, so basically a universal shoulder joint. He's got an above the elbow swivel, and like you got to kind of grab it. It's nice and tight, so you got to grab them both in order to move it where you want, or you're gonna keep pushing in with the joint. He's got full on double jointed elbows, and this is for the transformation, but working transformation joints into articulation joints, that's always a good thing. His wrist swivels, And this whole bug leg right here is a separate piece that swivels around. You can see right there. He's got a waist swivel. He's got, you can move the bug legs. The bug legs will interfere with articulation, but you can move them out of the way. So they're hanging off him and looking ugly, but he's a bug bot. What do you expect? That's his kibble. With the antennas, he's got universal jointed hips. He's got an above the knee swivel. He's got a single jointed knee, but thanks to his transformation, he's got a full-on double. He's got double-jointed joints. He's got double-jointed elbows and knees. He's got an ankle swivel. This is why I've always liked Transformers over action figures, because, like, their articulation is so much better, and it's, like, because of the transformation. Like, this right here is, again, part of the transformation. He can rocket forwards and backwards. He's got the heel, and because of those really nice ankles, you can get all kinds of crazy wide leg poses going on. Like, okay, he's gonna fall backwards because he's literally doing the limbo, but like, he can kind of hold it and use his bug legs, and like he's resting on it. But like, dude, the articulation in this thing. He's pulling the Neo. He's pulling the Neo. Okay. Enough gushing about the new toy. This isn't a direct comparison, but we are going to bring in the old school 1999, not 1999, 1990s one, and like, God, I can already see the age difference in quality, and his joints are loose, and he's not moving right. He's got a lot of translucent plastic, which is something that I'm surprised he has held up pretty well on. His joints haven't broken down at all. He's got his weapons here, which really aren't very show accurate. And he's going to stay standing. Those are replacement missiles off of another Transformer thing. And that goes in there so you can have like a mandible biting action thing going on there. And we're going to take that and tuck that back inside his chest. And just so I don't lose it, I'm going to stick that back in there. So, articulation wise, his head, let me say what I said real quick. That's screen accurate. They made this head before they knew what the screen guy was going to look like. So that's why it looks so drastically different. But it's still a fun bug head. It still kind of evokes the same kind of mad hysteria, you know, that was with the character. Articulation, he's got bowl-jointed shoulders, bowl-jointed elbows. Ignore this little part right here. I customized that in there. And then the whole rest would just be stiff, straightforward. And then he holds his weapons with these little peg holes. And he does have a waist swivel. He's got ball-jointed hips, and he's got ball-jointed knees. And one thing that's nice about the knees is that the knees, instead of being made out of translucent plastic, are made out of an opaque, solid color plastic that then they screwed in place. It uses Phillips screws. We haven't seen Phillips screws on toys in a long time. One of the cool gimmicks, other cool gimmicks about this guy is he has the crunching mandibles, which is really more so in bug mode. But I'm going to go ahead and pull his arms out of the way. And he's got the cool little butt bug going on right here. And he's got, you can push down on the button here. Now, it's kind of hard to really, there we go. Kind of fly him around and have him blasting about. And he's got the detail in there. And he's got his little, does his rub sign work anymore? Rub sign barely works. And a lot of this red I actually added in. But the silver and the blue, that's all original. So I'm going to, where can I put this? We're going to close the bug butt up for right now. And it's got these 3 clear pegs here. And it closes all up, and you just got that there. I need to get in here and slather some nail polish and stuff on here to tighten up these joints. Let's go ahead and get him standing up straight, and we'll do some group comparisons, right? Uh-huh. You two stand there like that. Let's go ahead and bring in the film noir Spider-Man. So that's your Marvel Legends 6-inch figure. We got our Barricade and our Dead Auto Trooper. And because, of course, we have to compare them to their queens. My queen, my liege. So yeah, they do look pretty good together with their old boss counterparts. And no, I'm not going to be doing the I'm not going to be doing a Transforce Rex mode with those because it's a pain in the butt transforming those guys. But we will get into transformation now, and we're going to start off with the older one. So let's start off here. We got his weapon over there out of the way. Down in here, this little clip here has to clip over the inside of the bug head when you go into robot mode. Remember that. And it has to unpeg when you're going out. And you have the antenna here. We're going to split the head of the ant open. Going to reach in here and we're going to pull out the ant mandible bug things. Look, they even got some weird molded in detail in here. Then take this whole thing and just flip it up. And yeah, he does have is his eyes painted? No, he should have functional light piping. It's just really dark. And we're not gonna adjust the lights around here to get a shot of that yet. Go ahead and close up, and we have closed up the bug head. Take the arms. The arms are interesting. So, fold the double jointed arm up and get the bug leg out of the way. Get the double jointed bug arm up, out of the way. I'm noticing now that he's got these holes on the side. These are probably 5mm peg compatible. Yeah. And he has one up here on his arm. So yeah, if you wanted to get one of the fossilizers or one of the heavy mech weaponizer guys and load them up, you could. So okay, so now that we've got the arms folded up, make sure the thumbs are facing inwards, because you're going to take the whole thing and put the the shoulder facing forward and fold the whole thing in. The thumb is going to go into the slot back in here. You see that? Can you see that? Yeah. And then these two little tabs here are going to kind of work together. This tab and slot with this tab and slot, right? So like, come on. And the bug legs are going to continue to be a pest. Hinge the this whole thing folds inwards on that butterfly joint. Thumb goes into that slot. Gotta get the bug leg out of the way. Get the bug leg out of the way. Thumb in the slot, and those tab together. There we go. Mildly annoying, but like once you figure it out, it's like, okay, alright, okay. I'm going to come back here to the legs. We're going to take them at the waist and turn them around. Then we're going to take the heel spurs, the feet. Oh, he's even got pegs on the bottom of his feet even, so you could really load them up if you wanted. And you're going to fold the feet all the way back like that, right? Then take those pegs. There's a peg right between the leg here. You see that? And peg it in there. Okay? Pay attention to these little red pegs here, because we're going to take those double joints I showed off earlier and push forward. So you're going to get the legs like that, you see? Then open up the sides of the bug butt and close it around. Okay, I'm Oh, okay. That waist has to go forward up against the back here. And then those on the inside shell right here. On the inside shell, the bug butt. Close that over like that. And then there's these two tabs here. Get that plate down there. And then there's these, see these up in here? That's going to close down on top like that. And that's going to close over like this. So you're going to get that joint kind of up in that little nook right there. Bring that back like this. And then just straighten out the bug legs. And we can actually get him standing on all 6 of his legs at the same time. Bring those ones down. Oh, yeah. Bring them down like that. There we go. Give me a moment. Let me go ahead and try and finish this review up. Let's put the no one over here. And I've talked about the articulation and all that stuff in both of them, so we'll get into the transformation. The joint here is a little bit stiff. I'm going to take Gorva's back here, and we got this panel here. I'm going to pull that open, and you're going to use the set of 2 double hinges to fold things around. And that's going to put his head underneath there. See, there's a hinge here and a hinge here in the head. So you're going to fold that around. You're going to take these arms, and normally you'd use these ball joints differently, but like since I have the custom hinges in here, I can just do that. I like doing that. These legs here are going to swing down like that. But then we're going to come back here to the robot hips. And we're going to split them right at the crotch. I know, that looks painful, doesn't it? I'm going to double hinge them up. Get them out of the way. Then we're going to take these toe pieces. Now, this guy originally came with a couple of missiles, and the missiles acted as bug legs. Yeah, hinge those around like that. Yeah, drop the big bug butt down in position. And now we just gotta straighten out his legs and get him to stand on some of his legs here. That'll work. And like in their comparative insect modes, you can see there's a big difference between the two. Transformation wise, the old 90s one is a lot simpler transformation, but the newer one, the transformation is a lot more effective and a lot cleaner. Like when you flip them on the underside, you've got exposed robot head, and like, yeah, you've got the robot legs and the robot arms, but it blends in really well, and they covered up the robot mode head. The newer one, you can just pop him down and he goes into his legs. But this guy, his ball joints are all weird, and then you gotta fight and finagle with him to get him to stand on even 4 of his legs. And then the other ones are really heavy, and like he's just not fun to pose, and he really ends up just being bug roadkill more than anything. If you put him on some pillows and like prop him up, he could be pretty intimidating. So like, you got any mean aunts out there? Hey, you got a good bug toy for her bed. Which one is better? Really, again, I can't be completely fair to the old one, because the old one I have done some modifications to that I think makes it better. But even if I hadn't made the modifications, I'd really say this is another one of those cases where they're both good figures. If you're willing to track down the old one and you're willing to forgive his floppy ball joints, because for the time, no insect transformers were really able to stand up on their own to any real effectiveness. And he does have quite a bit of size. He is a big boy. But he uses a lot of translucent plastic, which I've always found to be scary. Mine's held up pretty well, surprisingly. The newer one has a more concise transformation. It's got better, well, okay, it doesn't have better articulation, but it's got more solid, more useful articulation in the robot mode. They're both good. I'd pick them both up because they both look great together. Comparisons. Soda can. Film Noir Spider-Man. And the, goodness gracious, could you imagine if we had to deal with bugs comparatively that big? We should hope we'd have giant robot mechs to be able to match them, right? Okay, so this has been Colwen with mainly a review of the current Legacy Inferno, but kind of the old one. Should you pick up the new current Inferno? I would. He's a really good representation of an older character. He's a really fun figure. The transformation is clean. The robot mode is good. The bug mode looks good. There's a lot of good modal detail and shit. Should you look into getting the old one also, maybe? Yeah, I would. The old one's pretty good too. Buy them both if we can track them down. So, thanks for watching. And, I don't like having to get down the figures. I'm going to show you in a moment, but dear goodness, those things are hard to get down. Seriously, it's really annoying getting these guys down. They're up there. Way up there when I got to get them down. Yeah. Oh well. Back to the video.